Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet and welcome to the Called to Create podcast. I am here to help you ladies unlock your creative potential and use your God-given gifts and start a business. Because you were called to create and you have so much to share, and the world needs your creative gifts to be shared right now, ladies. Let's do this. And today I want to share with you something interesting, and it stemmed from a conversation that I had. I want to talk about confidence because you do scary things. And I had this conversation yesterday. I called someone, and she's so cute. She's like under 30 and she has two little kids, and I was talking with her to see how she was doing and how her kids are doing and her husband and all of that. And we had a great conversation. And I was talking about how grown up her daughter looks and seems. Like her daughter's like a little over 3 years old. And I was just asking her how's she doing and what is it like having a 3-year-old. So she was saying that she noticed that her daughter doesn't act like a typical 3-year-old. It seems like she has this confidence about her, and she was just kind of explaining like what she meant. She has this confidence in like how she walks and how she carries herself, and I thought that was like so interesting because I love watching little children, especially because I have my own grandchildren, and I think little kids are so amazing. They're just fascinating to watch. And I think back, was I like that when I was little? I don't know. So she was talking about how her daughter just loves doing scary things. Well, to us, it's scary as adults, but her daughter like jumps off the stairs, jumps off the couch, and just jumps from high places and just does these crazy things that as moms, I think we get a little worried. Like we don't want them to get hurt or break a bone or crack their head or anything like that. But she noticed because her daughter is doing that kind of stuff all the time, she's not afraid. She has this confidence about her, like whenever she's doing something, even though she's a little over 3 years old. And she doesn't seem to have that doubt in her eyes. You know how if you ever watched a little kid and they're not sure, they would look to an adult or their mommy or daddy. I'm not sure, like what, like how kids do, they don't know because they're so innocent still and they're still learning. But it's like this little 3-year-old doesn't have that look in her eye. She has the look of confidence. She can do it. And I thought that was so perfect to talk about today because I think when we do scary things, that's where the confidence comes from as adults. Now, this works perfect for kids because they don't know any better. They don't know that there's a possibility of them breaking their leg or arm or breaking some sort of bone or hitting their head. But as adults, it's a whole nother story, right? We have been through a lot. We've fallen down many times as kids and teenagers and adults. Well, adults, hopefully we don't fall down too much, but you have these experiences as adults and it makes you fearful because I don't like pain and I don't know anyone else who likes pain. So I've noticed that I try to avoid things that could possibly cause me pain, like falling or tripping or doing crazy things like that, or doing anything that's crazy that could potentially be harmful. But there's also the other side. What if I did just go for it and not worry about if I were to break a bone? I probably would have more confidence in doing a lot more things that are quote unquote scary. But so that's my point, is that if you do scary things, and it doesn't have to necessarily be physical things, like getting out there and doing cartwheels or riding a motorcycle or jumping out of an airplane or anything like that. It's just about doing scary things in your daily life. And there are scary things that we have to do that you might think, oh no, I can't do that. There's just no way. And when you actually do that scary thing, you'll get that confidence after, like, oh, okay, I did it. Now I know I can do it. It's always after. Like, confidence always comes after you do something. Confidence is on the other side of the fear and the scary and whatever else you want to name it. But I want to invite you to find something that scares you and do it, because you'll gain that confidence and you'll feel so much better about yourself. I think so many individuals or human beings on this earth worry so much about fear and shame and their lack. And instead of focusing on all of that, why not focus on what you can do to be your best self or to gain the confidence that you're looking for? And it could be something simple as maybe starting a new job or applying for a new job, or I like to talk about starting your own business on the side, and whether it's part-time or full-time, because I like to share with people how fulfilling it is to have your own business and to have something that you create that you're passionate about or that you just love. And there's really something that happens, and it's hard to explain until you actually do it. But it's very fulfilling and very gratifying. And it's just this amazing feeling that you have when you create by using your own gifts and talents and your skills. And I love talking about that as much as possible so that people will know how fulfilling it can be when you actually create something that is so special to you. And I want to invite you to think about that. Open your treasure chest. Do something scary today so that you can gain the confidence. And I don't recommend jumping off of a chair like a 3-year-old or anything like really high, especially, the older you get, and if you're not physically strong, you don't know what's going to happen. But don't listen to me. You might be one of those who will be perfectly fine if you jump off a chair. You never know, right? And I'm just kidding. But just do something scary today, because I want you to be able to gain that confidence and focus on what you can do instead of what you can't. If a 3-year-old can do it, we can do it, because we were 3 once, like a long time ago. However old you are, there was a time in history where you were 3 and you probably did do scary things that were considered scary to your parents. But if you can just take that same idea of just doing something scary to be able to just feel the confidence. And I know you can do it, because I've done scary things, but when I do scary things, it gets easier and easier, and then I have the confidence now that I can do it, and it gets easier and easier as time goes on. And that's what happens when you do scary things, is that it will get easier and you'll get the confidence you need. And I only talk from experience, and I only share the things that I know that I've done and that work. I'm not sharing something that I don't know anything about. And please try it. Do something scary today, and I want you to send me a direct message letting me know what is something scary that you have done and that you were able to gain that confidence. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything major. Like I said, you don't have to jump out of an airplane, but do something, no matter how small it is. It's still vitally important. And I love sharing all the things that can help you and can help you grow and create. And I want to help you to be able to use your gifts and talents and skills to create a beautiful life for yourself. Do this for yourself today, because you have worth and value. I'm here to tell you that. I know for sure that you have worth and value. And if you have something that you would like me to share and talk about, please send me a direct message and let me know. I am so open to sharing what your ideas are and what you would want me to talk about. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it. Or if you know anyone that wants to start a creative business, please send this podcast their way. I would really appreciate that. And I want to ask you a favor. If you can please take a minute to rate and review this podcast. And if you're listening to this podcast in the Apple Podcast app, you can rate and review this show right there at the bottom. So as soon as you open my show, you can just scroll down all the way to the bottom and you can rate and review it right there, because reviews are so important and they tell potential listeners and Apple that this show is worth listening to. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And have a great day, ladies. Take care of yourself. Aloha.